At the end of the Phantom Menace, Yoda states that there are always two Sith, a master and an apprentice. But how did Yoda know the rule of two, as the Sith were thought to be extinct for over 1,000 years? In Legends, 188 years before the Battle of Yavin, a Jedi named Kib Jeen and his master were sent on a mission to investigate an ancient Sith fortress on the planet of Almas. While on the mission, Jeen became overtaken by the dark side and became a dark Jedi and even killed his master. Jeen spent the next several months inside the fortress fully embracing the dark side. When Jeen finally departed the planet, he assembled an army of pirates which he used to wage war on the inhabitants of the entire system. The war went on for several years and eventually the news reached the Jedi Order. The Jedi sent a Jedi consular and her Padawan where they lured Jeen into a trap and slayed the fallen Jedi. Right before Jeen's death, he started muttering some supposed gibberish about how there are always two Sith, no more, no less. At this point, the Sith were thought to be extinct, but this might have been a breakthrough for the Jedi to prepare themselves for a possible Sith return. This information was brought to the Jedi Council. However, the Jedi Council dismissed these claims and believed them to be just rumors. For the first time in a long time, the galaxy was at peace. The Sith, who had caused so much chaos across the galaxy, were thought to be gone for good. If the Jedi got into another war with the Sith, this would turn them into warriors and soldiers, not the keepers of the peace they strive to be. The Jedi were still reeling from the previous war with the Sith, and wanted to believe that the Sith were gone for good, so they chose to ignore this information. After Obi-Wan's duel with Darth Maul on Naboo, Yoda and Mace Windu realized that what Kib Jeen was speaking all those years ago might have been right, which got them thinking if Maul was the master or the apprentice. The Jedi didn't believe, or didn't want to believe rather, that the Sith were still out there in the shadows. But after Darth Maul's appearance on Naboo, the Jedi had proof that the Sith were indeed still around. As we saw in the Clone Wars TV series, Yoda was familiar with Darth Bane, the creator of the Rule of Two, because in some of his writing, Kib Jeen mentioned Darth Bane and his new era of Sith, having one master holding the power and one apprentice craving the power. Once again, we have ourselves in a similar boat, where the Jedi, if I'm being blunt, are stupid and arrogant. The Jedi thought they were so powerful, the Sith stood no chance against them again. But while the Sith adapted and grew stronger in the shadows, the Jedi grew more arrogant and complacent in their ways, which led to their eventual downfall. Well, I understand the Jedi didn't want to get into another war, but just turning a blind eye to a potential Sith return just shows how out of touch they really were. But the Jedi have done a lot of dumb things over the years, so no one's surprised. But let me know what you think. Should the Jedi have been more proactive in preparing themselves for a possible Sith return? If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. But anyway, I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.